Bam! Now we're recording. Okay. um, circle profile picture. How do you get a? Ah! Yvonne, I heard that little tube coming out of your throat. That little right. So how to make a circle profile picture on Scratch? How to get that? How do you do that? It's pretty simple. Okay. So first thing, you need to get your image. Now I already have my image. I'm going to use this profile to show how this thing works, but it's really easy. First, you need to get square image or whatever. If you lost your image or your profile picture image, you can like right click and save it and still work just fine. The next thing I do recommend doing is like going into your files and where's the image at? There it is. So what I do recommend is like once you got your image or whatever, like check the size and like try to increase the size. Since the max thing for Scratch, the max profile size is 500 by 500. So usually what I like to do is set it to 500 by 500. But this kind of looks a bit dookie, so I'm just gonna undo that. Once you get your image, you can look for like a circle crop thing. What I use is Canva, since it's now this is very simple. So now, I do have to admit, I've never used this website a day in my life, but this looks pretty good. Look at that. That was a nice circle. So yeah, see the button here, upload image. Now, once you upload, you find your image or whatever, and then you click, and then yeah, here we are. Now we can like increase how much this is. Like we can basically what I would like to do is fill the square. Okay. So there's this, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's this green like outline. There's like a green outline around it. And if we increase this, we can make it fill up the entire square, which is pretty much what we want. This will take our profile picture and crop the entire thing into a perfect circle. And then, again, you can change the size and only show a certain part. But I like having the whole thing filled up and then cropping it to a circle. And once you got it set up, then you can just smack that button there and then you can download the image. Boom. Now we have this. Now we have the circle profile picture. Now we could just end it there, but I like to add a little pizzazz to my pictures or whatever. So what I'm gonna do is go to P. Please, please load. If you don't load, I am going to cry. I feel very sad. I'm going to get emotional. Please load. Please load for me. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry in front of them. Please stop. Stop. Please, I'm going to cry. Just Captain Crunch is good. Once we get the photo P, we can open this image. Once you can okay, so this is our image. You can see we have the nice circle profile picture. It's all transparent, but what I like to do is add a little pizzazz. So how do we add pizzazz? Basically what we do is that you just shrink this image. Okay, so there's this thing up here. When you hold the select tool up here, transform controls, click it. Now you can see we have all the corners, kind of just like Scratch. Just hit this and just, shrink it. Actually, before I do that, I want to go to image size. Okay, what I'm going to do is, this looks a little too pixely, so I'm going to increase the size to like 500. Okay, and holy moly. Let's zoom out. Okay, that's how it's supposed to look. Slightly blurry. Then when it's zoomed out everywhere on the website, it should look pretty smooth. Now, I can go ahead and hold Alt and hit the corner and then shrink it down. No, you don't have to shrink it down a lot. Just shrink it down enough to fit a drop shadow in there. Now that we've shrunk that, double click this guy on the edge, or you could go up here, hit layer, and then layer style, and then choose what you want to add. What I want to add is a drop shadow, so I'm gonna add a drop shadow. For my profile picture on Scratch, I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around here, like on this side. But we can go ahead, create a basic little thing here. So yeah, now we just mess around with this, and yeah, I think this looks okay, I guess. Yeah, that looks nice. So now what we can do is export the darn thing. So file, and then export as PNG. You can name it up here, and then once you're done, save. So cool. Now we have that. So, oh, wait, actually, if you want, once you get the drop shadow in, you can actually increase the size back to like a large size. Like, don't cut off the drop shadow because on the site it won't look like smooth. It'll still look like it's a square profile picture a little bit if you like chop off the drop shadow. So increase it slightly, but make sure the drop shadow doesn't get cut off on the sides, you know? Now we're done. All that's left is the bam, bam. Look at that. Circle profile picture. Now for like up here, you can see there's this like gray box around it. Don't worry about that. There's also like the white box up here too. That also happens like that. But if we scroll down to the comment section, you can see it's just a circle profile thing. All right, yeah, that's it. Um,